this is Ms. DB. In this video we are going to look at functions as rules, tables, and graphs. If I can get stuff to stop moving around here. Alright, so we are going to make sure we know how to find the domain and range of a function. We've been working on that. Make a rule and table and graph to represent a function and represent real world, oh my goodness, situations with a function represented in different ways. So first of all, we're going to do a little bit of a review of domain and range. So we have the following functions. So remember that in a discrete function like in A, you will just make a list of the possible x values. So in this case, the number of hours that he might be paid during a pay period, like maybe a week. And then the range would be, in this case, represent the wages he would earn. So those will be just lists of numbers. But in B, Maria charges $25 per hour for tutoring math. She charges for fractional parts an hour. So this is a continuous function. So the domain and range in this one will be an inequality, like x might be greater than or equal to 0, or all real numbers, or something like that. And the range will be the wages or the earnings that she has during that period. And you can decide on a reasonable, for the domain, you can decide on a reasonable number of hours for each of these. And maybe you'll want to say that it's per week. It doesn't specify, so you get to kind of be the judge on that. In C, this is a linear function, so it'll be a line. So think about, we've talked about what the domain and range is for lines. In D, you might want to graph that one. If you graph it, you'll be able to tell better what the domain and range is. Same thing for E and F. For graphing those, it would be easier if you graph them and then tell what the domain and range is. In letter F, that square root one, the square root of x is this top part. Let's take this part away. This is the square root of x right here, because I had graphed this for a previous video. So you can think about what the domain of this is and what the range of it is. All of these C, D, E, and F are all continuous functions, so all of the domains and ranges will be either all real numbers or an inequality like x is greater than 0 or x is less than 0 or something like that. Alright, now we're going to look at filling in a table and then writing a rule, or write the rule first and then do the table. It says Angie makes $9.50 per hour working as a cashier at the grocery store. Write a rule equation for this. So if she makes $9.50 an hour, then that rule, let's write the rule before we do the table, would be something like wages is equal to $9.50 per hour. So we could write it in function notation. We could say that f of h, the function of the hours, is equal to 9.5 times h, if we wanted to get into function notation. And then, so 5 times 950 for this one, 10 times 950, and so on. That's how you'll complete that.